Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DC fan site where there will be like a plot synopsis and character bios. So we are continuing our run of covering John Byrne's Wonder Woman run. I should say we should. Never mind how I said that. So I have started from 101. I have a playlist with that, so if you'd like to start from the very beginning, feel free to do so. So here we are looking at number 110 from 1996. And we, of course, already see who the antagonist is, Sinestro, from the Green Lantern Corps. So, great cover by Byrne. I love this period of John Byrne. He was such an ink slinger during this time. So, I think the dude was going straight to inks. I think he was just putting in a little bit of roughs and then just going straight to inks. So our title is Level 2, and you can see the credits here. John Byrne is the writer artist. So we got Sinestro. I think John Byrne is also doing lettering, but I believe this is computer lettering by this time that he was doing. So it was based on his own handwriting, and then he just put it in. I don't think he was hand lettering these at this time. So Sinestro is using his ring, and here you can see the police helicopters. This is the police. Stop what you're doing and go immediately to the ground. Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. And so we got this gorgeous double page spread, and he's of course calling out Wonder Woman. You can see the path of destruction that was used. I think in this one he could have done a little bit of perspective, but who am I to criticize the great John Byrne? But all right. So this pilot says, Wonder Woman, what does he want with her? Doesn't this clown usually mess with Green Lantern? And the other pilot says, maybe he's looking for a little variety in his diet. Whatever it is. And so they start shooting at him. And this guy's like, man, I promised my old lady I'd be home early tonight. So, of course, Sinestro uses his ring as a shield. And then takes care of that helicopter. And they're like, we're too low for the parachutes. And then Sinestro catches them, and the other guy's like, he saved us. So he goes, what are you, nuts? What are you doing? And this guy's like, we still got a job to do here. I'm going to arrest this creep. He's like, okay, buddy, take us down to the ground now. And so Sinestro laughs and, of course, obliges. I like how John Byrne is doing the silent thing. I mean, you can tell exactly what's happening with no thought bubbles or anything like that. It's refreshing because there are some that are so verbose, and so this guy's like, what are we gonna do? And the other guy's like, the only thing we can do, as Sinestro's getting away, find a way to contact Wonder Woman. And so we are at her apartment here. So I think his name is Mike Shore or Score. I think I'd had this debate last time. I couldn't tell. I think it's like school. So I think it's Score. But anyway. He's picking up the newspaper. Never thought I'd live to see the day you'd become second-rate news, Diana. And so here we go with this, who is the champion? And And Wonder Woman is, that concerns me far less than the arrival of this new superhero, Mike. Who is he, I wonder? Why is he here in Gateway City? And then little Cassandra says, maybe Gateway is the cool place to be now, Diana. The new metropolis. And so this is Cassandra's mom. And she says, somehow I doubt it. Though it does seem as though a lot of strange things have been happening around here since Diana came to town. Mike says, oh, it's probably like when I was in college and grew a beard. Suddenly it seemed like everybody had a beard. We haven't paid much attention before to the doings of various superfolk, but now that we know Diana, we're more aware of it. And Wonder Woman says, would you agree with that, Cassandra? You seem to have followed the exploits of various of my superpowered colleagues. Does it seem like there is more or less of such activities here in Gateway since I arrived? And she says, well, since you arrived, we've had evil gods, demons, sorcerers, giant robots, walking tapestries. I guess I don't remember a whole lot of stuff like that happening around here before. And so the phone rings, and Mike picks it up. So, and he gets some news. He's like, what? And Wonder Woman changes as we kind of just we're just kind of told that Sinestro at this time was supposed to have been dead. We do know it's comic books. Nobody's ever dead. But Wonder Woman arrives and she goes, or she tells him to stop the senseless destruction and asks him what she wants. Uses his ring to try to grab her, but she moves out of the way and kind of uses the ring back at him. He's still not talking. He cages her, but of course she's Wonder Woman, so again, Sinestro's still not talking. And so as they're watching Wonder Woman battle Sinestro, Cassie's mom, I really forgot her name already, but she's like, oh, be careful. And of course, Cassie's like, it's Wonder Woman. He'll beat him up. So the phone rings again. Cassie picks up. Says Diana's kind of busy. She can take a message, and she's like, no way. And she picks up, and it's Wally West, who was the Flash at this time. And he says, hey, Diana faxed me a picture of that fake Flash she fought yesterday. She says, are you able to shed any light on this matter? She says, not much, except to tell you that the face in this picture is Barry Allen, the man who was the Flash before me. But Barry has been dead for several years now. So, at the same time, Wonder Woman's noticing that this is beginning to resemble her battle with the false Flash. So, same thing, it appears to be Sinestro, but doesn't behave exactly as he should. So we're going to have another double page spread. So in the trade paperbacks, they would put these things to accommodate for the double page spread. So, all right. So he runs away and she's like, where's he going now? And suddenly they're going to the bridge and he's cutting it. And of course, she's like, no. I really do enjoy it. Look at how much detail John Byrne puts in. Just amazing. A lot of people wouldn't do this, but not John Byrne. So she's using her rope to try, or her lasso, to try and catch that part. Diana, of course, is very strong. Wonder Woman is one of the strongest characters in the DC universe. So she can go toe to toe with Superman, Doom, anybody. You can put her in versus anybody, and she can hold her own. So while she's holding the bridge, he of course is taking care of these buildings. So she has no choice but to drop this part and go over there And so he builds a wall, but of course she goes right through it because she's not immune to the yellow the way the Green Lanterns were. So this, I believe this is Hercules from the DC's Hercules. And so he's watching this. He's like, this is not good. If the Amazon is killed before I encounter her, all my plans will have been for nothing. What shall you do, my lord? I shall remind you once again that you are to address me only as Mr. Champion, and then I shall go forth and see what aid and assistance I might render Wonder Woman. I think it's Hercules. I haven't read this in forever, so probably since it first came out. So, this is accelerating a plan which I view as already ill-considered, my son. Are you sure this is the course you wish to take? Of course it is not, old friend, but the fates are not always accommodating to our needs. I don't think it's Hercules. We'll find out together, because I'm reading it for the first time with you. Or not the first time, but the first reread. I used to read these beforehand, but I said, what the heck? Let me just read it with everybody else and be just as pleasantly surprised as you guys are. So, all right. So, Wonder Woman is trying to appeal to Sinestro's humanity, for lack of a better word. This one looks like she's roller skating or something. This one looks like a zombie. So, but for the most part, great job. Do love the people going over the cars. And so, Sinestro hits Wonder Woman and then is finally able to trap her. And so Mike, of course, sees it, and he's like, blast him. And they're like, are you nuts? You know what he did to that chopper. And so, I'm not saying we won't get our heads handed to us, but there's a chance we might distract him long enough for Wonder Woman to do something. I love the Inkslinger, John Byrne. Yeah, come on. You want to live forever? And so they all start shooting. But Sinestro dismisses them. And soon someone catches his ankle, and it's the Champion. And I love how Byrne, I'm going to show this panel. I love how Byrne goes from one to the other. Just great stuff. Great storytelling. And so he grabs the guy. He's like, have you not learned that a warrior must be ever on guard against an attack from any quarter? Learn now your first and hardest lesson. And so he, is this Blood? I think it's Blood, maybe crushing him or something. And she's like, it's happening again. He's vibrating just as the capture flash did. In a moment he will. And then, of course, he blows up. And so in the previous page, this woman was like, this is your doing. The paper says the fake flash full, but exploded into white powder, and we both know what that has to be. And he's like, don't be ridiculous. Chris would never do anything like this. Chris, this isn't Chris. It's an artificial construct you created with your virtual reanimator. Chris is dead. No, his body is dead, yes, but I have preserved his mind, his soul here on these computer banks. So, that's what you keep saying, but you know it isn't true. You never claimed before that your machines could do anything but create a quantum clone of the subject. It's only your despair over the death of your son, of your only son, that's clouding your reason. You've been letting Chris run the system like a video game. So, and of course, the dad here is like, Chris loved video games. I let him use the tape library to create fantasy environments to keep him entertained while I have a stable body ready for him. And so you can see the tape of Green Lantern being put back. And so So the mom says, yes, don't you see? These aren't fantasy scenarios. Chris is accessing the proto matrix material to create his own quantum clones. He made one of the Flash. He sent it to battle Wonder Woman. The computer can't distinguish reality from fiction. Chris thinks he's playing a video game, but he's really destroying, killing. And of course, the dad's like, no. And she says, then prove me wrong, Lazarus. And so he says, you are wrong. I will prove it. And so yesterday morning, there were more than 2,000 kilos of proto matrix material in the pods. Now, and, well, am I right? How much is gone, Lazarus? And he's like, it's not so much. Okay, it's not so much what's gone. And then she's like, what is it? Something's shifting the matrix masses. Hundreds of kilos are being pumped into a single pod. And she's like, can't you stop it? Can't you do something? No, Chris is overriding all the system's inhibitors. Quick, check what tape he's running. And she's like, oh, Lord. And so she's like, shut down the system, shut it down. And this guy's like, too late. You were right, or you were right. Chris doesn't understand that this is real. You can see, bum, 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 bum. Are you ready for the reveal? Boom! He recreated Doomsday. So, in the next issue, we're going to see Wonder Woman battle Chris in his Doomsday guise. So, all right, so that concludes our issue. So, Wonder Woman 110, written and drawn by John Byrne from 1996. I hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.